Hi, this is Ed Spurliers. I hope you enjoy this latest episode of Random Trek. Thank you very much. Yeah?
Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to another animated episode of Random Trek. I am your cel-shaded captain, Christopher Ingle, joined as always by my first officer, the CG-generated Commander Brennan, the Mystical Mar. Brennan, are we ready for some cartoons?
I love cartoons.
I do too. Today we are taking a look at technically four episodes of three different series. First, we'll be starting with Star Trek the Animated Series, the pilot for that Season 1, Episode 1, Beyond the Farthest Star. Then we'll be going into Lower Decks, Season 4, Episode 5, Empathological Fallacies, and we will finish off with the, so far, I hope it's not, but series finale for Star Trek Prodigy, Ouroboros, which is a two-parter.
Yes.
Got a lot to go through, but as always, let's start with our furthest trip back in time, Beyond the Farthest Star. All right. Yeah, so we never have a lot of luck with the animated series.
Usually not.
No, the second episode when we dealt with Spock's trip through time, that was really good. But otherwise,
It's really good episode. Really
yeah.
good.
Otherwise, these are really spotty at best. This episode, so they're exploring the outermost rim of the galaxy, which is a trope I'm going to talk about in a minute. But the Enterprise ends up coming across some strong gravitational effects, and it is pulled into the orbit of a dead star. The crew of the Enterprise discover that they discover a massively damaged 300 million year old ship is emanating radio signals and is trapped with them. Kirk beams aboard this ship with a boarding party, Spock, McCoy, and Scotty. And they learned that it was once home to this insectoid race. Now that's kind of cool. I like that. This is, of course, before we had the Xindi and things like that, so this is a neat thing. They learned from a pre-recorded message that the ship became almost completely controlled by some kind of evil entity seeking to escape the dead sun and travel to other worlds. Doctor Who much? The ship's crew ended up creating this isolation chamber that this entity couldn't control. From there, they had recorded the message and had their ship self-destruct rather than let it be used by this entity. But the entity starts to pierce into this isolation chamber where the party is and ends up beaming back with them. It infiltrates the workings of the ship and disables the self-destruct mechanism. But Spock placed the navigation console inside a kind of a shield kind of thing, so it couldn't reach that. It couldn't get to navigation. So instead it uses the ship to kind of threaten the crew's lives and coerce Kirk to navigate it where he wants, or where it wants, I suppose. Kirk ends up flying the Enterprise towards the dead star, which kind of feels a little reminiscent to us, or at least to me, of the time that Janeway ran Voyager between, two pulsars?
Yes.
Do you remember that one? Or two stars? I can't remember which way it was, but yeah. And it looks like the Enterprise is going to be destroyed, but in fact, it's a slingshot maneuver for escaping using the massive gravity to its advantage. The entity does believe that the ship's going to crash and destroyed, so it flees. And the Enterprise manages to escape both the entity and the dead star.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with this one, and again, I know this was 1973, But there are so many elements of science fiction that this reminds me of. Doctor Who actually came to mind pretty heavily for this. How about you?
I mean, we've seen them do stuff like this in Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Where they threaten to destroy the ship.
Yeah.
In order to win.
Yeah.
And certainly, ancient alien spaceships and stuff.
I was thinking of the episode, although there are many episodes like it. It was the David Tennant episode where he came across the devil for the first time, but it had
I have
possessed.
to confess, I've never seen Doctor Who.
Oh, well, then that does not help.
We may have a new idea.
We might. Long story short, there is an episode, actually it's a two-parter, where the Doctor comes across this dying planetoid that's being pulled sort of very slowly towards I think it's the black hole. And the people that are on this thing that's there, they're supposed to be drilling and what have you, Doctor Who fare. But things are going wrong, and this person who keeps hearing voices in their head, and what we find is that the essence of evil, the devil itself, or what people have manifested as the devil over the years, is there. And so the Doctor literally comes face to face with the devil. It's a classic episode. But again, the same kind of thing. Like, they're trying to escape. They're trying to get out. They have no choice. Someone's being possessed. Something like that. And we have seen Star Trek episodes, not quite that plot-wise, but very similar, of crew members being possessed. I mean, this is not the first time, I think, the original Enterprise crew even dealt with.
You had the creature from Day of the Dove.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I just watched for the first time.
It's a good episode.
Well, we have not reviewed that. We'll get to that one day, but that was a really good episode.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like this idea was done. But there were a couple things here that I do like, and this is the pilot. And
it's a fairly good start, I would say.
The technology that they have here that we never, ever, ever, ever use again.
Except maybe on lower decks. I don't know.
Yeah, was it the energy belts or the little portable?
Life support belts or whatever they are.
Yeah. It's never used again, like ever. And I was like, this is beneficial. Could you imagine if Picard and Worf were able to put on energy belts and go fight the Borg in First Contact instead of the EV suits?
It wouldn't have looked as cool.
No, it wouldn't have. But I just think about it, like, Kirk and them had it. Why not you? What's going on here?
It's probably a limitation of animation.
I think it is.
Of the time.
And here's the thing. Star Trek is, I still believe, is heavily rooted in factual science. And
at least it tries to be.
It does try. That's true. It's science fiction. It does what it does. But they try to base it.
We just won't talk about the episode Threshold.
Warp 10. Warp 10. But I just don't buy the science behind it. It's a little thing to it, but I want to see it happen. I think maybe that's why they don't touch it, is they've never been able to really explain how it worked.
I do think the design of the spaceship is kind of cool.
It is. It is very different.
Because it's different than we're used to seeing.
Which I do like, because with the exception of the Doomsday Machine, original series time, most of the ships you come across are very, I think they're a very standard idea. Yes, the designs change, but you always have a bridge. You have an engineering section. You have, there's like certain things that we always see pretty consistent.
That's true.
So seeing something that is very different and unique and not quite the norm, that was nice.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, but...
I mean, it is your very standard fare episode. It's not necessarily
And it moves so
The
fast.
episode after this is absolute required viewing.
Absolutely. It just moves so fast. And
But this episode isn't really.
It's kind of the number one problem for me. It's not the animation, and I know the animation's weak, but I'll give it a pass because it's 1973. Fine. I don't like the short runtime.
Unfortunately, yeah. It doesn't give it time to breathe.
Yeah, you have to move, but that really...
Lower Decks and Prodigy, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even with Lower Decks and Prodigy, they actually take a little bit more time with it. Prodigy especially,
That's
they
true.
were able to expand on that. Lower Decks, they expand on that because these were posted online. They were made in a different era. So
That's
here
true.
you're dealing with commercials. So I think grand total, we get like 23 minutes.
Yeah, it's real short.
It's real short. It's quick, which is nice for reviewing. But there's
Yes.
not a lot to review, which is the number one problem with this
It's
series.
unfortunate, yes.
Yeah. But it is what it is. I do like the idea of the malevolent alien, and the real threat is there. The stakes are there. I like that. And I do love Kirk kind of playing chicken a little bit.
Yes.
You know, saying, no, I'm going to control the ship. And it really does remind me of Janeway. And when Janeway did that. And,
Yes.
You know, I love that. No one's going to touch this ship but me. And everyone around her is going, Captain, we're going to die. We're going to die. Yep. We're going to die. And she called their bluff.
And we'll get to Janeway in a few minutes.
There's the right way, there's the wrong way, and there is the Janeway.
Yes.
I do want a t-shirt that says that. If I find a t-shirt, I will get you one too.
Yes.
We'll have matching t-shirts for this.
Yep.
But overall for this, I mean, and it's a pilot. So I have to look at it that way. There are some great ideas here that I really do feel, honestly, would be better in like a Star Trek comic book.
Yeah, I agree there.
Some of these ideas in the animated series should never been made to a series, but if they were done in comic book form, I think it would have really worked well. And this is one that I think that works well with.
It just seems that Star Trek does not have a good track record of pilot episodes.
I think it's hit and miss. But you're
There
right.
really are not very many great pilot episodes.
Yeah, I don't think until we get to Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, Stranger World started out really well.
Yeah,
Lower
it
Decks
is.
started out pretty well.
It is what it is, and I just go with it. I know
Prodigy, I wasn't sure.
we didn't know what Prodigy was going to be at that point.
And now that we know, we love it and we miss it.
We'll get to Prodigy, because I want to talk about Prodigy. We really do.
Yes.
But yeah,
All
this
right.
one, it's fine, and it's 23 minutes, so that both is good, because it's fast, so you're not committing a lot to it, but I would like a little more.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let us fast forward to 2023 with Season 4, Episode 5 of Lower Decks, Empathological Fallacies.
Oh, yes.
This is such a fun one for me. I
really
remembered
is,
this one as the
yeah.
one with the Betazoids. And some of the guest stars in this episode too were absolutely fabulous. I love having them. But let's give the plot out.
Janelle James from Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, let's give the plot out for this one. So the Cerritos is escorting 3 Betazoid diplomats. They're now T'Lyn is not happy with her time on the Cerritos, and she ends up drafting a request to her Vulcan superiors to return to her former ship. Basically, I'm sorry, please don't leave me here, but in a very Vulcan way.
These people are driving me crazy.
Yeah. But she gets she's waiting for a response, but she can't send the message because there are issues on the ship, some things that need to be taken care of. Well, when she goes out, shenanigans start to happen. We notice that the crew begins behaving in a very unhinged way, a very
More than
crazy
usual.
way. Yeah.
More than usual.
Captain Freeman suspects that the Betazoids have xanthe fever, which we have seen before
Yes.
with one Loaxana Troy. And it is a telepathic disease that does affect the other people's emotions around them. Now, the Betazoids are stringently against this. How dare you? That's not right. We don't talk about that. It's not okay. And they reveal to be undercover intelligence officers and end up seizing control of the ship. T'Lyn, however, quickly surmises that she is not affected by what's going on. Something doesn't seem right. And she realizes...
As we know, Vulcans are telepathic.
Right, as she realizes that her conflicting emotions over her transfer are being telepathically projected to the crew because she may be suffering from something similar to Bendai syndrome.
Which we're very familiar with.
Yes, thanks to Sarek. We have seen that before, too. But she's very young, so it doesn't affect her, if that is the way it is, the same way that it
young
did
for
Sarek.
Vulcan. She's 62 or something.
She's very young, yeah. So yeah, she realized that her emotions may be the ones projecting onto the crew, and she feels she has failed as a Vulcan. Mariner helps her get her confidence, her self-confidence back.
There's some wonderful profanity.
We have said in quotes in the past that I'm not going to do it this time, but man, do I love the quote she gives here.
Yes.
It is so good. Please watch it. We're not gonna run the swear warning on this one.
Adding the bleep to it makes it funnier.
It does. I believe she is Vulcan as a blankety blank.
Yes.
I love that. And she says it deadpan. Just deadpan. So funny.
Perfect.
Great. Yes. But yeah, Mariner helps her get her emotions level, and they return the crew to normal. She decides that she wants to remain on the Cerritos for now. Now, during this whole thing, too, the B-plot, as usual, is Boimler.
Of course it is.
Boimler is really stressed out, as Boimler tends to be. So, Rutherford arranges for him to meet with Shax and the security team.
Oh, goody.
And he is sent... Boimler thinks this is going to be super secret security training. Cool! And when he arrives at this super secret security meeting, he finds them playing charades and doing slam poetry and all of these things. And then they're making
slam poetry.
And then they're doing puzzles. And it's just like, he's not liking this. He's like, what is this? Why are you wasting my time? And he basically, Shax tells him, look, you needed a break. That's that simple. And the point, and this is really good too, the point of ship security isn't just combat, but it's to take care of the crew. And sometimes that means a little slam poetry and some puzzles. I like that. I really love that aspect of it, that, you know what, ship security is more than that. And they have a counselor, I'm going to say, Dr. Miglimu is supposed to be the counselor. He doesn't do anything.
He's a terrible counselor.
We keep saying Deanna's a horrible counselor. No, Dr. Miglimu is awful.
Yes.
Anyway, but we do get to see when things go bad and red alert happens, security go on a tirade, and they save the day using slam poetry and these other things to
very zen
get things back to normal. And it helps Boimler feel better. He understands that, and that's nice.
Oh, Boimler, how do we love thee?
But before they leave, the Betazoids share an image of a mysterious vessel that has been attacking area ships.
And now that we know who's behind it...
Mr. Locarno. Yeah, I really enjoy this episode. This is so funny.
Yes.
So good. And T'Lyn, I really love T'Lyn.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and it's so sad that we only really get 2 seasons with her, because I actually think she is one of the better designed Vulcan characters that we've ever had. Spock, of course, is always going to be our number one, but, you know, she's complex, she's funny, she's interesting. She isn't as serious as, say, T'Pol was. T'Pol was very serious. She had her moments, but very serious. T'Lyn is not that way. T'Lyn has a great sense of humor.
Yes,
And she's interesting.
does.
She's very fascinating, and this is focused mainly on her.
Well, if you remember the line from Flashback,
Mm-hmm.
when Sulu says, "Don't tell me Vulcans don't have a sense of humor."
I know better.
This is one that she does, for sure.
Spock's humor was very different. But again, I think that's over time. We've had time to come to understand how writing, what you can do in writing.
Mm-hmm.
And this show breaks the rules all the time. How else does, Mariner stay in Starfleet? For everything she did, we can break the rules. We can change things.
Mm-hmm.
And with her, I love that. And she's a lower decker. She's been a lower decker. We met her, was it season 3? 2 or 3? 2, 3. 3. It was 3. Because it's the end of 3. She ends up transferring over to the Cerritos. But yeah, this is a fun one. You know, hardly any of these, I would say, by themselves are absolute must-watch. But again, this series is one you just go through. And I do have it on good authority. This is, during the holiday season, is available on Amazon for the entire series at a really good rate. So if you're someone listening who doesn't have Paramount Plus and, what have you, you could get all 5 seasons for a really cheap price and have a great laugh. And if you're a Rick and Morty fan, if you're a Family Guy fan, this show works on those kinds of levels.
Legit Star Trek.
It is, and that's the kicker. Star Trek comedy? What? It works. Every time we say that, it works for this series.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We enjoyed it. It's great. Now for the one that I really enjoyed rewatching.
Yes.
Ouroboros.
Yes.
Okay. So, Ouroboros opens, of course, Star Trek Prodigy, opens up where the Val Nakot are in rebellion against Essentia. Essentia has taken over and is trying to launch a fleet of ships through space and time with temporal weaponry to destroy the Federation throughout everything.
In fact, leading right to some of their core worlds.
Mm-hmm. So the Voyager A and the Protostar crew are going to attack these ships and to attack this complex to buy enough time while Wesley Crusher, Rock, Zero, and Majel, another interesting Vulcan that we're going to talk about in a minute, they try to figure out the calculations to open up a wormhole to Tars Lamora. If they can return the ship to Tars Lamora, they believe they can reset the timeline, fix everything, all will be well. Meanwhile, Dal, Gwyn, Jenkins-Pog, Murph, and well, you know what? I'm just going to call him John Noble. It's John Noble. Anyway,
yes, it's John Noble.
He has a name. It's Ithurian, but we could also call him...
Just call him Denethor.
Denethor, the Diviner.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Anyway, they beam down to Solem to hijack Essentia's technology. Gwyn goes ahead and starts fighting Essentia. Now, remember, part of this in the beginning, she lost this fight with her, and Essentia took her relic.
Yes.
Her family relic. So she's kind of had that and is dangling over. So she is fighting Gwyn with this relic, and Gwyn is using nothing more than a pipe to try to beat her. And time is running out because because she is outside of time, she keeps phasing in and out a little bit, so it's really tough for her. But as she is fighting, she's kind of got, Asensia's got her pinned and is ready to kill her, and the other Valnakot come around, all the elders and everyone, and, you know, I give my power to you. It was a very Goku moment, actually. I give my power to you, and they all kind of transfer their mind energy to her, and she is able to take control again of her relic and use it to defeat Essentia. So meanwhile, Murph is fighting the Dreadnought. Go Murph. Love Murph.
We love Murph.
Which gives Dal and Jengapog time to open the wormhole. But what is going to happen is, unfortunately, Dal is going to have to climb to the top of this tower to reset a wire, a little Back to the Future there. But he risks his life if he does not get up there. You know, we got to get it done. So he does end up getting up there, fixing the hole. He falls. Of course he falls. A little drama, but Murph catches him. And they successfully open the wormhole that collapses the other rifts.
Yeah, so we just get the one wormhole to go back.
Asensia's ships are destroyed, saving the Federation. We think it's done, but it's not. Because inside that rift, the Loom begin to swarm. And they are going to come and consume all of reality. So we have a new threat.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So the crew decides to launch the Protostar into the wormhole, guided by Voyager. They realize that timey-wimey stuff, they had to send it back. They thought this whole time that everything they were doing was to fix, and yet it was to fix what had happened. In reality, they were the ones to set it in motion in the first place. And
that's why Ouroboros, the world worm...
Yes, it is the idea of the snake eating its own tail in one perpetual... Yeah. So that's what this is that the kids are fulfilling this destiny paradox that has been set in motion from the beginning. We just didn't know it. So the Doctor ends up being very smart because they have to reset Janeway, hologram Janeway. And they download her program into a backup file and make a copy and basically say, okay, we're going to leave the original with the Protostar, wipe her memory so she could be here to help the kids. But they have Janeway now in a backup module. The Protostar does land successfully on Tars Lamora, and it resolves the time paradox, getting rid of the Loom. The Loom returned to their dimension.
Yep.
And there's an interesting theme here that I really like as we finish this episode, and it's Wesley. Wesley is talking to Dal, and the whole time he keeps telling Dal, you all need to be together. You have to be together. And Dal figures out the reason why they were supposed to be together was for that moment. And Wesley says, no, you're wrong. You have a future ahead of you that is full of amazing, horrible, and amazing things.
I hope we get to see it.
It was a season 3, wouldn't that be great? It reminded me of the speech that Mr. Ollivander gives in Harry Potter and the first Harry Potter.
Oh, interesting.
Where he says, he who shall not be, is capable of great things, terrible things, but great things. And that's what this kind of reminded me of, is like, you guys have so much ahead of you. Good and bad. You have a lot ahead of you. Anyway, but that speech was really powerful. I loved that. And Wesley... Oh, Wesley.
And then we get this absolutely beautiful recap of everything we've seen. Yep,
we get the whole series, which is cool. But everything resets. Yeah. Everything is fixed. And we get this nice little montage. Wesley visits his mother with Gates McFadden voicing, which I love.
Oh, yes.
We're tying this together. He gets to meet his little brother, Jack Crusher. Love that touch.
By the way, I've gotten to meet Ed Fleers, by the way.
Yes, he actually has done our bumpers a couple times.
Indeed, he does.
I do. Gets to meet his little brother. Chakotay is given command of the Voyager A, and Janeway retires.
Oh, yes.
But the kids go back to Starfleet Academy. They're very popular for everything. Everyone knows what they did. Again, to quote Harry Potter, Dumbledore at one point is talking to Harry, and he says, only you and Tom Riddle know exactly what happened down there. So naturally, the whole school knows.
Yeah, oh yes. Yes.
This was the same way. Like, everybody knows what you did.
Yeah.
And
then we get tying it all together with the rest of the Star Trek lore.
It does, because we're on First Contact Day when we see that Mars is attacked by synths.
Yes.
Tying us back to the beginning of Picard, Janeway is recalled to active duty. Mm-hmm. All officers. And we get actually a briefing from Admiral Jellicoe.
Jellicoe, yeah.
Ronnie Cox again. And this guy is saying, look, we have to change everything we do. We are suspending all exploration from Starfleet. We are now worried about protecting. We have no ships. We have nothing right now. We need to stop what we're doing. Janeway is against this, adamantly. That being explorers is what Starfleet is all about. It is what the Federation stands for.
And apparently, he points out she feels the same way Picard did.
Yeah, and actually, in a way, I think Admiral Jellicoe actually kind of agrees, because there was a solemnness to his tone. But he's in charge of everything right now, so it's basically, this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
It's not what we want to do. So Janeway comes up with one more idea. Oh, classes are suspended. All classes are canceled. So Starfleet Academy is stopped cold. Janeway calls all of the kids together and says, come to the shipyards immediately. And we see a beautiful Protostar class ship, much bigger than what we saw before. Called the USS Prodigy. And it was designed again as an exploration vessel. But now the whole program has been scrapped. But Janeway feels, you know what? This isn't right. We need to do something. And
she called in a few favors.
That's what she says. She called in a few favors. And she says, you are my new recruits for this program. You are under my purview. And so you are going to command this ship, and we have something for you. And they open a box, and it's Pips. They are being field commissioned all to ensigns. Mm-hmm. So they are now Starfleet officers. And who is going to go with them on this trip but Hologram Janeway?
Yeah.
The copy that was saved is now returning. The doll, who we think for a second is going to be the captain, he says, you know what? It's a wise thing to know when I need to follow. And I'm not ready. But I will follow you. And he says Gwyn should be the captain of the ship.
Yes, I was very happy about that.
And so Gwyn is made captain of the ship. He is made the first officer, and everyone else has stations. Rock Talk is science officer. Murph is our security and tactical. What is Zero's position, actually?
You got me.
No, I'm like, wait a second. Isn't that kind of science too? I don't know. Anyway, they're all there. They all have a place, and they go off exploring, and that is where it ends.
Oh, yes.
I'm kind of saddened because, I mean, it's not a bad way for it to end.
No, I think it ends very well.
But the fact is that it ended with the idea that they're going to have so many more adventures.
And maybe there will be. It's hard to say.
Well, I'll be honest. With the Paramount Skydance merger, that doesn't look very good.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that all Star Trek is going to be destroyed. In fact, they are making a priority for Star Trek, just not in the way that it's been.
Yeah, we sort of had a renaissance the last few years.
We really have. But I guess before we go into more details of this episode, we should talk a little bit about this change that has occurred, that is occurring, and it's real time for us. So their base, the basic,
do we have to?
well, a little piece of it, but the idea is that they want to focus more on theatrical Star Trek.
Okay.
Whether that is going to be in the theaters, less streaming, but they didn't say no streaming. But they're wanting to cut back the number of series that they are doing.
As long as they make better movies than Section 31.
Yeah. Well, and again, that was a big mistake, and I think that's part of what they were talking about. Great ideas, they fumbled it big time. But long story short for this, they're gonna, Academy is going forth as planned. That's not being touched. We are gonna finish Strange New Worlds. That is wrapping up filming as we speak. I keep seeing posts of people who are done with filming. So they are finishing it.
We're gonna miss that show when it's gone. We really are.
I am too. But yeah, that is going to be the next focus, is that they want to go back to the movies. The Kelvin timeline, according to them, is done. We are not going to get more Kelvin timeline. So who knows where we're going to go or what's going to happen from here.
We've got the Starfleet Academy show coming up soon.
That is, next month, and I'm really excited for that. We won't get to review it until the season ends for a proper Star Trek. But, you know, to not know in terms of series where things are going to go is kind of sad. The only other new Star Trek, which, again, I will have a short trek released in a few weeks for us on the new Star Trek Scouts, you know, talking about Star Trek in preschool. But other than that, there isn't a lot of animated hope right now for this, and a lot of other series that are on play, which is a shame.
Yeah.
This right here is an example of why animated Star Trek works.
Yes.
It's encouraging. It's well written. It's well acted. It's so much fun.
You know, speaking of, I think we want to pay some tribute to the actors.
Mm-hmm.
It took me forever to realize that Ella Purnell, who's Gwen, is Lucy McLean in Fallout.
Really? Okay.
And I went, why is her voice so familiar? I'm watching Fallout going, why is her voice familiar?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, she's Gwen. That's why.
Well, and this has so much classic Trek mixed into it. I mean, we often joke that this is kind of Voyager 2.0.
Yeah, it's a great extension of Voyager.
And it is. And of course, we get regular appearances from Kate Mulgrew, both as Admiral and Hologram Janeway. Robert Beltran, which we finally fully get in the second season.
Sorry, Chris went out for a minute there.
Oh, can you hear me now?
So you glitched there for a minute.
Anyway, Robert Picardo, Kate Mulgrew, Robert Beltran, Will Wheaton, all in here with appearances, of course, from Gates McFadden and others in season 1. It was great. Ronnie Cox, also.
Ronnie Cox.
Having them all in here was so great. And then you added regular guest stars Jason Alexander, who has done Star Trek before.
Yes, Jason Alexander.
Daveed Diggs. I love Daveed Diggs and Hamilton. And here was nice. Jamila Jamil.
Yes.
It's absolutely fabulous. I thought John Noble was going to be our villain throughout the whole thing. He's not. In fact, he's hardly our villain beyond halfway through season 1.
That's true.
It's really Essentia, played by Jamila Jamil, and I love her. She is in so many things right now, or has been in the last few years. She obviously did this show, but she was in The Good Place.
Yep.
Fabulous in The Good Place. And then a brief appearance in the She-Hulk series. Take that what you will. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I don't know. It is what it is. But that being said, the acting in this series, Will Wheaton too. Man, what a way to come back.
Yes.
I didn't think we were ever going to get Wesley Crusher again, and it was such a good version of Wesley Crusher.
Indeed.
And I want more adventures of the Watchers and to know what's going on and what's happening. And
Yeah.
we've gotten tastes. I would love to have more. And again, we reviewed the first audio drama series with Star Trek Con. This is another thing with the Watchers. I would love time with Wesley Crusher. I think that would suit him. And Will Wheaton does audio books and audio dramas all the time.
It's true.
It's part of his work now. So this gave us so much, and I just hate that. I really feel it is the stepchild of Star Trek, and that no one gave it a fair chance.
Whether it ends or not, this show has been extraordinary.
Yep.
I didn't know what to think going into it, but it's like the Star Wars Rebels of Star Trek. You go into it thinking, it'll probably be harmless, and then it becomes not just good Trek, but great Trek.
Yeah, and again, from a children's show. And it of course, is not by any means only a children's show. It's great as a Star Trek fan.
Yes.
I want more. I want us to give him more, and I think it deserves it.
And the fact that we want more means they did their job.
Yeah. And this is an example that executives don't understand this.
That's unfortunate.
It is what it is. But
it was a beautiful ending. It moved me to tears nearly.
Absolutely.
We have grown to absolutely love these characters. Mm-hmm. And to also love the lessons that are in this show.
Yeah. We have said this before. Please, please, please buy the Blu-rays, buy the DVDs, because it's leaving Netflix.
Yeah, and if you're a Voyager fan, you should watch this show.
Yes. It is not going to be coming back to Paramount anytime soon that we know, so it's another one of those that could easily become Lost Trek that we don't
Unfortunately, yes.
We don't. I that's why I spent the money and the time to buy these, so we not only can review them, but I can watch them again in the future, because it's worth it. It's good. It's very good. Let's not let this become Lost Trek. All right. With that, Lost Trek, let's talk about what's coming up in our future.
Oh, yes.
Next week, we have, I believe it is Star Trek Picard.
Well, actually, next week is our movie.
Oh, no, that's right. Movie, then Picard. Yes. So next week is our look at Wall-E, which definitely is not Lost film.
No, in fact, might be one of the best films of the 21st century.
Yep, I absolutely agree with you. And of course, Jeff Hall, he's coming back. He's going to take a look with us. I'm really looking forward to his view on this. And it'll be a good romping time. Followed next month, once we finish our surprise as to what is to come. But I will say this, it's going to be the year of the captain. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, I'm very excited.
So, but after that, then we go into Picard.
Yeah, Picard will be the beginning of the year.
Yes, we start the new year with a new Picard. All right, let's get the randomizer.
Let's see if the randomizer will be kind to us or cruel to us.
All right, let's see. Wheel of Morality, turn. Tell us the season we get to burn. All right, Season 1, Episode 4, Absolute Candor.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, isn't that that's where we are introduced to the Quat-Malat and Elnor.
I, unfortunately, have forgotten much of the first season, but that's just me.
It was a rough season, but I do like Elnor. We like us some Elnor.
Yes, Elnor we like. Yes, we do.
And the Quat-Malat is something that would play further into Discovery. Which we have talked about with that. So, yeah, a lot of good to come.
All right.
All righty. Brennan, where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me on Blue Sky, runround at bluesky.social. You can find me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. At Page Turners They Were Not, and I just want to say to everyone listening, have a very Merry Christmas. We will see you after Christmas.
Does Star Trek have Christmas?
You got me.
Well, actually, this is a stupid question. Yes, they do. Star Trek Generations proves Star Trek does have Christmas.
That's true. That's true.
We've never had a Star Trek Christmas special. That is something I would
Yeah,
love.
I don't know if that would work.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at cingle1984. But as always, we end every episode kapla and live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.